Here's my favorite hip mobility exercise right now with a few variations to up the challenge and give yourself different feedback. Right, you'll start in a split stance, not super big. It's not a full lunge here. You're just kickstanding the back foot back. This standing leg is going to be what's doing most of the work. And then crease at the hips so you're hinging over, and then reach the palms down towards each other. Right, as you breathe in, you'll row the right elbow back. Right, feel the pelvis rotate around the femur, right, the leg bone. And as you exhale, you'll return back through center. Right, inhale, rotate and row the left elbow up. Right, the pelvis opens up to the side, and then exhale, coming back. Right, you can play with the way you utilize your breath here. This is what feels most natural in my body. But the goal here is to move the pelvis around the stable femur or leg bone. Right, oftentimes we're doing the opposite. So you're really thinking rotating in, press into the big toe, come back through center, rotate out, press towards the pinky side of your foot, and come back through center. Right, it could be any amount of hinge forward. If you feel the back working a lot, then you can bring yourself out of this a little more. This portion of the hip is really what we're working on. I just find that adding in the torso and the arm motion helps find the rotation in the hip too, but you can totally isolate it just in the hip. Now, if it feels like it's not doing a whole lot, try lightening up the back toes and really feel the work, right, in the standing leg. Again, you'll want to think press into the big toe as you rotate in, press into the pinky side of the foot as you rotate out. Right, full foot is still grounded in both, but applying a little more pressure to the inside than the outside will help recruit the muscles that help internally and externally rotate the hip. Ways you can add in something different to that, a little more load. TheraBand, resistance band around the bottom of the foot. Gather as much tension as you want. And it's the same action. You can do a full row, or you can just apply a little tension and then switch, a little bend of the elbow and switch. And again, the lighter this back foot, the more you're really asking the standing hip to do the work. You can do the same thing with weights, right? Either just focusing on the pelvis, the arms will just kind of follow, or you can add that full row. Right, last variation is adding an element of balance challenge, and again, just different feedback to the body. Instead of a kickstand, you'll push your foot into the wall, same hinge, and then rotate. Right, might feel stable. Yeah, it's a stability challenge to keep the hands at the hips. You might take them out wide, or you can do that same action. Elbow back, elbow back. Right, there goes the hip pop. Again, just working the action of the pelvis around the femur, where oftentimes when we're doing hip mobility stuff, it's the femur moving on a fixed pelvis. So it might just give you a different sense of the movement in the hips. And for me, it creates a lot more freedom in the back.